going to call this meeting to order. This is a Community Development Committee meeting. Today is Wednesday, July 17th. The time is now 2:05. Go ahead and start us off with invocation, and then we'll get into our meeting. If you would, just bow your heads with me. Father God, we just come before you today just thanking you for this great opportunity that we have to, number one, just be in the land of the living, God. We thank you that we also have the opportunity and the pleasure and privilege of being able to make decisions to improve the quality of life for the individuals that live in this city. And so we thank you for endowing us with wisdom, giving us guidance, and helping us to find truth in everything that we do. And so we just lift your name up, we praise you, and thank you. In Jesus' name we pray, amen. The minutes from our last committee meeting that took place on June the 5th are now ready. Do I have an approval for those?
Yes, I'd like to make a motion to approve the June 5th meeting minutes of the Community Development and Special Call Committee of the Whole meeting.
I second that. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed. Those minutes have been approved and passed. And now we will get into new business. Mr. Johnny Mickles, you are up, sir.
So, my name is Al Jackson. I serve as Chief Land Acquisition Agent for the Department of Planning, Engineering, and Permits. Item number one is a right-of-way encroachment license agreement between the City of Birmingham and Parkside Baker Investment Partners regarding the proposed installation of a blade sign. The sign was projected from the exterior of the building located at 1320 First Avenue South. The sign is for Economic Development Partnership, which is a launching pad that provides a platform for new businesses that are striving to become a success story in the state of Alabama. This organization was established by Governor Kay Ivey for economic development, and it provides a funding source for people that want to go in business in the state of Alabama. Very similar to our own economic development in the city of Birmingham, but they have state and federal funding.
Got you. And this is the EDPA building. Is there anybody from, I guess, Parkside Bakery Investments?
No, they're not. I called them today, but felt like it'd be somewhat straightforward. It's just a small advertising sign. It's
Gotcha. Council Clark?
Yeah, so is that a design review district? Would the sign have had to go before the design review committee?
They've already been before, yes.
Okay.
It was approved.
Approved. Got you. And did you have any questions, Councilor Abbott?
Yes. No. It'll be safe. It met all the zoning requirements.
We need a microscope to be able to see these drawings if we want to actually read them. Maybe a little magnifying glass would help.
Well, I don't know, need something a little bit larger than 11 by 17, just let me know and I can do that. We have,
Maybe in the description, it could say how far it projects into the city right-of-way and how high it is above because we have a lot of sign requests that come before us. Maybe it could just say, so that we don't really have to be able to see those little teeny tiny. I mean, you've got young eyes, can you read it?
Yeah, I can see it. You know.
I've got my UAB glasses on and I'm having a hard time.
Got you. Let me see, what is the pleasure of this committee? Is there a motion?
I move approval.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? The ayes have it. Thank you, Mr. Jackson. Item 2. So we had somebody that was here.
I didn't know he was here.
All right, that's cool. Go ahead with item 2, Mr. Jackson.
Yeah, wonder why. This is interesting. Last night's meeting.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah, 3 copies. Go back over. First Avenue South.
Item 2 is the right-of-way encroachment agreement between the City of Birmingham and 1227 First Avenue South Holdings regarding proposed installation of concrete landings, ADA sidewalk, and a stairway connection for the purpose of office and retail facility. The office and retail facility and ADA ramp and landing are required by the federal government to provide handicap access to the building. Drew Watson, is he here? He's going to speak on behalf of the property owner.
Got you. Well, Mr. Jackson, the only question that I have before they get a chance to speak, how far out does it extend from the building? Because I see where one is 25 square feet and the other is 60 square feet. And so
Be 5 feet,
5 feet.
yes.
Both of them extend out 5 feet?
5 feet in width.
In width.
Along the exterior of the building.
Got you. Yes, go ahead, Council Clark.
So my question is, where this stair and ADA ramp go? I mean, I can see an arrow, to the edge of the sidewalk. How many feet is that, like, for regular pedestrians who are not going into this building or up this ramp? How much room do other pedestrians have to walk down the sidewalk?
There will still be 7 feet clear right there.
7 feet from
ma'am.
the edge? Okay, from edge to edge, okay.
What is that right there?
No, from here, see there's stairs and a ramp to get you into there.
And where's the 7 feet here?
Right here to here, I think. Can are those yours? No, those are somebody else. Okay. I just want to make sure we got the right dimension.
Dimensions, yeah.
Yeah, and I can,
Just to clarify, yes, we do have 7 feet clear from the edge of the ramp wall to the back of curb there.
Okay,
And then the ramp, as it kind of snakes down, those are 5-foot wide ramps, and that's just based off of kind of our ADA and kind of standard widths there, coming down the ramp.
We have 12 feet from the face of the building, 12 feet from the face of the building to the face of curb. And the 8A requirements are for 5 feet for the handicap ramp.
I'm trying to understand how does the ramp work? Do you go this
The ramp is attached to the face of the building.
Correct, yeah, kind of goes into the inset, so you come out flush here, flat, ramp down, ramp down.
That's what it looks like.
Okay.
So,
We did if we could see it.
yeah, so we were trying to see if there was another diagram of the layout of this particular ramp.
Here isn't.
I think we
saw-
figured it out.
I can kind of walk you through it. So if you're, the doors that are kind of inset further, kind of planned south, if you walked out of those doors, if you veered to the left, you obviously walk down a stairwell, a flat landing, another stairwell to get to the sidewalk level. If you,
where you starting from? You starting from?
from the doors coming out of the main building, kind of in this inset right here. So if you're coming out of those doors, if you're left, you'd have 2 small sets of stairs to get you down to the sidewalk level.
Okay,
And if you veer to the right, you'd have kind of a flat landing there, and then you'd ramp down to the right, where there are additional stairs to exit there. Or if you're obviously in a wheelchair, you would make a U-turn and then head plan left to get down to
Okay.
the sidewalk level.
that's what we kind of
Got you. Okay. Well, were there any more questions from the committee members? And if not, is there a motion on the table?
So before we move on to a motion, the concrete sidewalk that squiggles through in front of the building, what is, where the trees, what look like trees are, is that grass or is that ground level?
It is. It'd be a grass at ground level, at the same level of the sidewalk. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and so somebody's gonna come and mow that grass all the time?
Absolutely.
It's a
Ground
collection of
cover,
different
ground,
planting.
ground cover would probably be
It's,
smarter.
that's right, it's not grass, it's a collection of different ground coverings that won't need mowing, but it will get maintenance, regular maintenance though.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm just thinking if you were actually in a wheelchair and you were just trying to walk in front of this building, you would have to be athletic. Nobody ever thinks about that.
I think that's the tightest point, if you come straight out from those doors, if you're walking kind of across the front of the building, I think your tightest point would be about 7 feet wide. So I mean, I think we've given them more than any kind of minimal ADA requirements, probably about double what actual minimum ADA
Yeah,
requirements.
it's just a circuitous route. But when you can walk, you don't really think about stuff like that, you know? You only think about it when you can't walk.
Yeah.
Or where you know people that can't walk and are in wheelchairs. So, but, you know, maybe it will look really cool and nobody will think about it.
I think it's the most interesting sidewalk design I've seen in a long
Yeah.
time.
Okay.
It is interesting.
Is there a motion?
I move approval.
All right. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? All right, that item passes. Thank you. And Mr. Jackson, I'm sorry. Mr. Jackson, I know that you're going to be bringing all of the items before us except for the very last one. If there are any other exhibits, you can just give them all to us. That way you don't have to keep walking back and forth.
113th, very next door.
Okay, so did they get,
All three of those.
get all things, so
We want to be,
like each of these?
we want to
Fix
be
that?
equal. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, Mr. Jackson, so doing item 3, you can go ahead.
Item 3 is a right-of-way encroachment license agreement between the City of Birmingham and 113 13th Street South Holdings regarding proposed installation of concrete patios, sidewalks, landings, doors, and canopies. This is for the purpose of a new restaurant and bar. The structure will project from the exterior of the building located at 113 13th Street South. The name of the restaurant would be Uptown Restaurant. This would be mixed use for office space and beverages for the people that visit the facilities.
So, Mr. Jackson, I'm trying to make sure that we're looking at the right exhibit.
Is this catty corner? Is this catty corner from Magnolia Park? Brother Brian Park?
No, so,
This is, just east of the one we just discussed. This is, the back alley that kind of goes behind Good People, stretches west.
so this what we got.
That's why I was giving them to you one at a time.
Gotcha. Nah, look, it's cool.
Yeah.
I was trying to, save you a little.
Let me share my copy.
Yeah, that would be perfect.
Oh, yeah, we got something.
This says Magnolia Point LLC.
Is this what we're looking, what should we be looking at?
No, that's not it.
It's that one?
Was this the Orchestra Partners property?
Do you want this? Is that yours?
Sorry about that.
This is the one they're
All right.
No, that one.
All right. Now we cooking with grease. Cool. If you don't mind, Mr. Jackson, could you read item 3 over again?
Okay, this is, a right-of-way encroachment license agreement between the City of Birmingham and 113 13th Street South Holdings regarding the proposed installation of concrete patios, sidewalk landings, doors, and canopies for the purpose of a new restaurant, food, and beverage location. The structure will project from the exterior of the building located 113 13th Street South. This is for Uptown Restaurant, which be a mixed-use restaurant and business location at this facility.
Okay.
Is this the old bakery, day-old bread store? Is anybody old enough to know that?
I don't know the answer to that.
This is on the same block as,
Is Denham across the street?
No.
you're not quite there yet. This is
So parking structure, like they gutted out the old bakery and they use it for parking.
Yeah, okay.
It's across a parking lot and then it's there. And then there's an
But it
alley.
looks like it's on the
Then there's a
corner.
pizzeria. Then there's Second Avenue. I
The
think.
back alley you see on our north side here, that's kind of highlighted in orange, if you continue that plan right, you would end up in the Good People, kind of back patio area. It's in the same alley right there
Oh, I may have it.
to our east.
I thought I knew where this was.
Well, there would be a
All
way
in the
for us to.
Parkside
It's on the
district.
corner though.
It is, it's,
Yeah, it's on the corner of Second.
Yeah, I pulled
and
it up.
13th.
13th south between First and Second.
Maybe it was Hesco.
Hesco, sounds right.
I don't know what that is right there, but this is the building.
That's it.
Yeah, this is the building.
Okay. Well, at least we know where we are now.
Okay. And so, pretty much an outdoor patio is being built out here. Looks like it's 2,000 square feet of space. How long, how wide?
The top section is gonna be 20-foot wide, which is the full width of the right-of-way right there. And then it's approximately, I think that measurement's 100
100
feet,
feet, yeah.
I believe.
100 feet? Okay.
Is this an alley?
No, so pretty much an outdoor patio is going to be built here. In your large block of space over there.
Historically, would have asked for a vacation of the right-of-way, but VDOT was opposed to a vacation.
Okay.
And that's why they use the right-of-way use agreement.
Okay, because I was gonna ask, was it vacated? But
Historically,
is
it would have been. We would have advised them to do so, but VDOT wanted to go the right-of-way use agreement route, as opposed to a vacation.
Gotcha. Go ahead, Council Clark.
I was just gonna ask, is there concern for not vacating, I mean, is it for emergency access or something? Because this would hurt that. It would, I mean, no, I mean, they wanna, why do they wanna keep the right of way? VDOT.
VDOT?
What was their reason?
There was actually an adjacent property owner that opposed vacating.
Oh,
the
okay,
right-of-way.
so you couldn't
Yes.
get the consent to
Yeah, we
vacate it?
vacated the alley just west of here, the block to the west. That alley was vacated. There was an adjacent property owner that objected to vacating the right-of-way
Okay,
on this block.
so your use of the right-of-way that you wanted to vacate does not keep them from having access to their part?
There is no permanent structure here. It's just seating for the restaurant or bar that's going to go into this space adjacent to the alley right here.
Okay.
Gotcha. Councilor Abbott.
It's like a sidewalk cafe, something like a sidewalk cafe permit or something, but it's not. It's like a sidewalk cafe permit in the alley. Kinda.
That's correct.
Pretty much, very similar to that, as opposed to being a street right-of-way, it's in the alley.
Okay.
Very similar to a sidewalk cafe permit.
Gotcha. Councilor Abbott, did you have any questions?
No, I'm still looking at it.
Gotcha.
Okay, but the alley that we're not vacating isn't the only thing we're doing. We're also encroaching on two sides of the building with,
Looks like 5
It's more of a sidewalk cafe permit
5 feet.
request.
It's known as this street.
This is 13th Street. This is Second Avenue.
And so I presume that, you know, the two sides of the building will also be seating areas
That's
for
correct.
people. So pretty much like a table and maybe 2 individuals that sit
That's
in front,
correct. No permanent structure.
across from each other.
Be a concrete pad and tables and chairs for patio dining.
Yes, Council Clark.
So this will be different food service providers? Because the areas are very far apart.
Yeah, three separate tenant spaces in this building.
Okay.
That's correct.
And what's the name of the restaurant? Or,
So only one of the spaces is currently leased. Facing the alley is a bar called Up Down.
okay,
The other two spaces we're in negotiations with, but aren't leased yet.
gotcha, okay. Okay,
Okay, where is the main entrance to these businesses will be off of Second Avenue South. And the one on the, whatever street this is over here is 13th. Those will be like fire escape emergency exits? Or are those?
That's correct. We have readdressed all of this, so there's, the alley location has a address of 113 13th Street, which you see here. The other two units will face Second Avenue and have Second Avenue addresses.
Okay. And the drawing looks like the space is divided into two.
That was the historic division. That has all been since redone.
Okay, and so when it's redone for the new tenants, then we'll know how it's divided up, right? Well, and two on the alley side too, but they don't know who they're gonna have yet.
right now, Up Down just has this. Okay,
Okay.
is there a motion?
Currently, they only have one tenant, one facing the alley. The other two spaces are still vacant. They don't know who's gonna be there yet.
You ready?
Is there a motion? On the table? Yeah, go ahead.
Isn't there some painting or something in that alley, like it's blue or something? Is there some surfacing?
There is, it's not in the actual alley right now, though. It's just gravel in the alley, just adjacent of the alley on the actual property of either side. There is some concrete with some painting on it. And we intend to put concrete down in this area of the alley we're talking about, though.
Okay. And then is there a parking lot, a surface parking lot?
There's a surface parking lot just planned north of here. That's right.
Okay, so that will serve okay.
Okay,
Okay, I move approval.
all right. Second, all in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? All right, the ayes have it, the item passes. Go to item number 4.
Item 4 is a request for a right-of-way encroachment license agreement between the City of Birmingham and Magnolia Point LLC regarding the installation of one blade sign for the proposed new restaurant location. The sign will project from the exterior of the building located 2234 Magnolia Avenue South. Magnolia Point is a Gulf Coast and seafood restaurant, and is inspired by classic seafood restaurants along the Alabama-Florida Gulf Coast. Actually, this is putting up a sign. They have a painted sign across the front of the building, and this would just be a sign for takeout orders.
Gotcha, okay. Yeah, you can come on up and introduce yourself and tell us about this good seafood that y'all are bringing to the city.
My name is Don Hawes. I'm from Signage Sign Company. We're doing the sign. So the sign's going to be 10 feet off the ground, project 21 inches off the building. The sign itself is 2 square feet, so it's a pretty small sign.
Gotcha, and is it
not
something that's
illuminated.
lit up?
It is not
Not-
illuminated. no.
Okay. And this is right across the street from Southtown, or where Southtown was, correct?
Correct.
Say it again, I'm sorry. Yes. Sorry, I'm still old school. It's Southtown to me. Still Southtown to me. Okay, councilors, do we have any questions?
All it is the pickup sign
That's all it is.
with the little hook on it.
Carry out orders, DoorDash, that type of thing.
So this is not a sit-down space?
This particular part, no, this will, they'll just pick up, take out orders.
Pick up and take it, okay.
But I drove past there last night and it looks like they're getting ready to serve food.
Ah, okay. All
So
right.
it's a regular restaurant,
Yeah, the
then it's
restaurant
gonna
opened
have
yesterday. This is
takeout.
the takeout part
on
of
the
restaurant.
side.
Yes, ma'am.
And how big is the sign?
2
'Cause
square feet. It's
2
pretty small.
square, yeah, I was about to say.
Yeah, it's tiny.
Okay,
19 inches high, 15 inches wide.
got you. All right.
They're following zoning requirements. They're supposed to do something about making some signs larger, more legible and readable, but right now they're following the existing zoning requirements.
Gotcha. Turn your mic on.
Thank you. Did it pass design review?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and the new sign ordinance is working its way through.
You're
It was gonna be on committee of whole today, but it's not ready,
ready.
so,
Okay. All right.
second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? The ayes have it. You have
you.
your pickup sign.
Are you hungry?
Item 5.
Request for a right-of-way encroachment license agreement between the City of Birmingham and 230 Second Avenue South, Second Avenue Holdings regarding proposed installation of canopies, metal pergola, outdoor fans, concrete landing, a deck for the purpose of a new food and beverage restaurant at this location. The structures will project from the exterior of the building located at 230 Second Avenue South. This is the location of Fairway Social Restaurant in the Parkside District. And this will be a full-service restaurant and bar with outdoor dining, and facility will feature food, beverages, fitness center, and office space here at this location.
Got you. Shame on me as committee chair, because I don't think I gave you all an opportunity to introduce yourselves, and give your name and who you're with.
Sure.
Because I'm curious as to whether or not y'all are with a restaurant group or not.
No.
Okay.
So I'm on the developer side. My name is Drew Watson. I'm with Orchestra Partners.
Okay,
And I'm Connor Patton with Kinley Horn, just acting as the civil engineer for these
Okay.
projects. Thank you.
awesome.
This one is the big, you have the pictures. You get that earlier.
We appreciate it.
Do, accommodate this.
And that's just see.
This is just west of the building we looked at last, so just across 13th Street from the up-down, the location of the up-down to the,
Got you.
Okay, where's the fairway?
So it's a golf simulator is their primary form of entertainment, but they'll have food and beverage also.
I heard about this. I remember it from the neighborhood meeting. You can go practice your swing.
So an alternative to Topgolf.
That's right,
Got you.
indoors.
I just wanted to pull up exactly where this is, so.
And I'll just say, these renderings that we have here, these are still very preliminary. There's likely not gonna be a roof deck, not that it affects this right-of-way agreement, but, I just wanted to say that these are not final renderings. This will have to go in front of DRC, obviously, before, the tenant starts to do this work. We're just here for the right-of-way area.
So this portion hasn't gone to the design review committee yet?
That's correct, yeah, this will have to get, their final design on their patio and stuff is still gonna have to be approved by DRC.
Got you. And Mr. Jackson, help me understand, does it usually have to go to them before coming to us, or?
Yes, it normally requires dual approval. I was under the impression that certain portions of it had already been approved, but they are actually updating an existing right-of-way use agreement, so I thought that, I know certain portions of it have already been approved by design review, but
Yeah. Yeah, so the site work and the shell work have all been approved by DRC. I'm just saying the particulars of this build-out, i.e. this sign right here that's kind of protruding from the building, those details have not been in front of DRC just yet.
Got you. All right. Let's see. All right, council or committee members, are there any questions on you all's end?
I'm just reading what all is a 10-foot wide, 50-foot long pergola with 3 outdoor ceiling fan attachments. Is that on the roof or down on the ground?
It's on the roof, correct?
It would be above the built-up patio area here. So it is not, that's why I'm saying this is a preliminary image. They're going through different iterations of their awning that will cover this patio area that we're talking about.
So, Mr. Jackson, let me ask this then. If we were to approve this, and then it goes before the design review committee, I guess how does that work?
If the design review committee does not approve it, then that will stop it altogether.
Got you. And so I feel inclined to just, wait until you all go before the design review committee before making the decision, just to make sure that, you kind of cover all your bases.
Sure, yeah, so the reason that we're going in front of you for this right now is because the tenants will have to go in front of DRC for approval of their final design. This is for the base scope of work. This includes the site work that's already been in front of design review. And then to allow them to construct inside these parameters in this right-of-way area.
So the metal pergola and the canopies, those are things that are not, those would be, I guess, what you would take before okay.
That's
Got
correct.
you.
That's correct.
Yes, Councilor Court.
So the red band along Second Avenue, that's your outdoor seating area, right?
That's correct. The only difference between this seating area and the ones that we talked about in the previous agreements is this one is raised. So it's approximately 145 feet wide by 10, or long by 10 feet wide. Of that area, approximately 80 feet of length of that will be a raised patio area because this building is elevated up off of 13th Street.
Okay, I guess I'm trying to figure out when it goes beyond building. So that's connecting to something that's not over public right of way.
That's correct. That portion of the alley has been vacated, so,
Okay.
yeah, that's right.
Okay, so that's right.
Yeah. No, we own this southern half of that part of the existing, the X right-of-way there.
Okay.
And the raised deck, how high?
It's approximately 4 feet off the ground, I believe. It matches up with the finished floor of the building.
Got you.
So is that rendered anywhere? Is that in any of the renderings?
So,
Can't see it.
yeah, so on the top right image in the rendering, that seating area that has kind of the wavy look on the front of it, that is the raised area that we're talking
Oh, I
about.
see.
That's
So that
raised.
will,
Those-
yeah.
that-
So that will
those-
sit
those
above the
things are
13th Street elevation.
pergola. The pergola are those little black canopy looking things.
Oh, okay. Got it. Well, it is raised.
Mhm.
Okay. Committee members, is there a motion?
I just have one other question. Do we have anything to do with what's up on the roof, Mr. Jackson?
I don't understand.
Do we have anything to do with what is on the roof, or is this just the things that are projecting into the city right-of-way?
That's a design review committee question. I'm not
Okay, well,
qualified to answer that.
as long as we're not concerned with it, I'm not gonna ask any questions. Okay, you ready? You ready?
Yeah.
I move approval.
Second?
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? The ayes have it, and that item passes.
Thank you all.
It's a beautiful space, by the way. Proposed space. Item 6. All right.
Well, this is Alabama Power.
Steam plant.
It's about time. Well, at least they're thorough, even if they're slow.
Electrical substation.
This item is request for approval of right-of-way encroachment license agreement between Alabama Power and the city of Birmingham regarding the proposed installation of underground electric facility services for Alabama Power Company's Powell Avenue Park West Cable Utility Project. The request is for Alabama Power Company to remove existing subsurface power lines and for the installation of a new electrical substation to improve the electrical service for all properties within the coverage area. This utility project is located in the vicinity of 6th Avenue North, abutting or adjacent to 600 18th Street North. This is just to upgrade the existing facilities, and I'm not an electrician, that's why I got a team of people from Alabama Power Company to answer any questions you
Smart
might have.
man. So, well, y'all come up and introduce yourselves.
Hello, councilors. Good afternoon. I'm Kimberly Jackson, Community Relations Manager in the Birmingham Division of Alabama Power. And we're requesting, as Mr. Jackson said, a right-of-way use agreement. We're trying to create a solution for, we have some transmission equipment in the Pratt City area that's in a floodplain. And so this is part of the solution for that, this work that we are requesting a right-of-way use agreement to complete. We've already been awarded a street excavation permit, and I have my colleague TJ Abbey, who's in our power delivery team, as well as Dan Schertz and Darren Lawton from Burns and McDonnell, an engineering firm with whom we've partnered on this project to explain more about it. So I turn it over to TJ.
Good afternoon. Again, my name is TJ Abbey. So just a brief thing about this project. If you're looking at the far chart over there, the whole blue line from, I would walk over there, pretty much where that substation where Darren's pointing all the way over to Pratt City. That's the existing underground oil static line that we have now. We are wanting to retire that 4 miles of oil static just because, like Kimberly said earlier, that is Pratt City substation is in a flood zone. So we would like to retire that 4 mile stretch, drain the oil out, and then reroute it into Park West DS. Not only for this project, it will help in the Park West area. We're trying to get a lot of our major transmission equipment out of Pratt City just due to the flooding and all that, and being a critical substation. So I'll let Dan and Darren kind of talk more about our design and what we're looking at doing, but this is currently right now at Park West. This is what we're proposing.
So Darren's the engineer on this, but to speak to a high level, I can probably walk through it, a high level overview for you. So what we're showing here is the existing line in blue that's going through the right of way. And we're going to cut that where you see the green rectangle. We're going to remove that existing cable and abandon that conduit that goes to the west that TJ outlined. And then we're going to open trench excavate across the roadway to tie that into the substation. So it'll just be a small open trench excavation. Everything is going to be buried underground within the right-of-way. There'll be no above-ground appurtenances until we get into the substation. And then there'll be a new manhole that's installed underground as well. And everything will be returned to existing conditions at the surface.
Got you. All right. So, forgive me. All right. I just want to repeat back to you what I think I heard.
Absolutely.
So we currently have a substation, or cables that are underground that you all are gonna do away with, over in the Pratt City area. You're going to also take any existing equipment that, you know, can still be used after, I guess, you flood or pump out all the water that is over there, because it's a flood area. But then you're gonna cut it here, which is in the downtown area, right?
Yep.
And reconnect it
To a new substation.
to the new substation, which is, at the, let me see.
Yeah, so outlined in red is the existing substation to the south edge of the screen there.
Uh-huh.
And then to the north side, where the proposed 115 KV termination structure is, that open lot is the future expansion of the
Future
substation.
expansion, got you.
And
And
what we're
so-
seeking approval for right now is just the new manhole and the open trench excavation into the substation.
Got you.
That's the scope of this specific project.
And I'm just, you know, trying to just wrap my mind around the whole thing. So, again, forgive my ignorance.
at all.
So like, this, where this green go up, yeah, right there. Is that where it's going to be cut or?
So basically, we will, sorry, that's correct. So we'll put a manhole over the existing, cable pipe, that holds the 3 cables in it. The cable pipe will be cut inside of that manhole, and everything to the west, like they talked about, will be removed. And then the new cable pipe, which is shown in orange, will be ran up to it via open cut trench.
Got you. And, I guess the scope of, or the timeline of all of this, how long would that take?
So construction is proposed to start August 5th. And the project will meet final restoration and be complete by December 31st.
Okay. And that wouldn't, I guess, hinder too much above ground, since everything would be taking place in the manhole essentially.
The installation across the road will be an open trench. So we'll excavate that across the roadway and then backfill that and restore the pavement to existing conditions.
Got you.
Yeah.
Okay.
And another benefit too, retiring all this oil static, there's thousands and thousands of gallons of oil. So if we did have a leak right now, we have to go dig up a lot of dirt, dig up a lot of oil, and it's kind of harder to find. So we're kind of reducing our footprint of how much oil static line is actually on this line now.
You said oil,
Oil.
not
yes.
water.
No, oil.
Oil.
Yep. So, yeah, it's it's kind of conductor between that static and all that, so it's not burning up the pipe and everything in there. So it's kind of a thermal conductor and all that. So it's just oil inside that pipe with the cable. So we're going to reduce 4 miles of it. So from an environmental aspect, it is a very big benefit getting rid of retiring that 4-mile section.
Got you. I know originally you all said that it was in the flood zone, and so
Yeah.
my mind automatically thought
Yeah, the
water.
substation is. So whenever it rains a lot over in Pratt City and all that rain, it has to sit somewhere, and it's right next to Village Creek, I think, right there. So whenever it gets enough water, it's not draining out quick enough, so all that water inside the substation starts getting into all that transmission equipment. So we're trying to get all of our major transmission equipment, all that out of there, and that's part of this project here. So,
And
but that conduit and all that we're talking about, it is filled with oil and conductor. So that's what we're trying to reduce.
Got you. Okay. Committee members, Council
Oh,
Clark.
you said it's gonna be an open trench, it would be subsurface, then it'd be covered up and restored to its original condition.
Okay. Council Clark.
So how long will you have to detour the traffic on that street, you think?
Yeah, so it's currently designed in phases where we'd start in the substation and excavate north to the center of roadway. So we'd only be closing the southern half
I
of that
see.
road. And then we'd come in the second phase, we'd backfill that temporary restoration, open the traffic control back up, and then work from north to south to the center
So
of the
you'll leave a
roadway.
couple of lanes open?
We'll shift, we'll keep at least one lane open at all
Okay.
times to maintain traffic.
Because your service center is somewhere where your customers
believe it's just
go.
up north.
It's
So
nearby?
pretty much that whole block right there, we have 4, the customer center's there, and then Alabama Power around that block. We own all those 4 parcels right there. But that service center is right before you get to that.
Well, can you point to it since you're,
Yeah, where's the service center? And will it remain?
okay,
Oh, that's the service center. Okay.
And
Okay,
So when people exit, we're gonna have to make a left or be one lane of traffic.
okay.
And the substation is already there.
The substation's right here. We do have a project in the future. We will propose it to y'all. It's kind of a 4 or 5 phase thing. The first phase, I went and presented, with Kimberly last year. We had to tear down an older building there. We got approval for it just for this future expansion. This substation is probably from the 60s or 50s, and we just need to do some infrastructure thereon.
So it won't be invasive at all to retire that 4 miles of transmission line? Or will it be invasive on the other end and on this end? I know you gotta go in at this point.
Yes, what you can see on on the exhibit to the left, each of those green dots is an existing manhole location over by Darren.
Oh, I see. Is that where you go in at each
Yeah.
point?
And
But
so we'll go
they're
into each of the.
existing
They're-
manholes.
Yep, they're all existing.
Okay.
We'll stage for maybe a day at the most with I think it's with a reel, and we'll cut and pull that cable out and just work manhole to manhole. And we've included traffic control designs for each of those locations in the drawing package.
Okay. All right. We like turning the lights on, so.
Yeah, it's actually kind of cool. Councilor Abbott?
Okay, it says here that we're granting a non-exclusive license and that there may be a whole bunch of other stuff under there with you. And that if we tear it up,
Repeat.
okay. The agreement, I'm reading the agreement. It's on page 1. It starts on page 1 and it talks about that we're granting the licensee a non-exclusive license. And it goes on to talk about all the other stuff that may be under the ground. And if it sounds like if the city has any emergencies and we tear it up, what happens then?
Just means that the city has the right to come in and remove it, but they have to contact, the power company for repairs. I mean, the, right-of-way encroachment agreement is like a revocable permit. So the city can exercise their rights on the use of the property at any time.
But I imagine we won't because we don't want people to complain about having no power. Okay, that was.
We have the
that
right
was-
to do so.
Yeah, okay. Y'all ready for a motion?
Go ahead.
Okay, I move that we approve this item.
Second. All right. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? All right, the ayes have it. It sounds like a pretty cool process.
Yeah, this is the first one of these we've seen.
Yeah. I don't think I did too bad with my understanding either, so. All right. Got a resolution for eminent domain. All right, thank you.
Thank you. That don't want us to have any.
Must not want us to.
Yeah. There's usually.
All right. My name is Morgan McMahon. I'm here on behalf of the Capital Projects Department. And I have here with me,
Jesse Miller, City Engineer, Capital Project.
and I am the Senior Site Acquisition Agent, and I will present to you today. This is a request for the passage of 4 resolutions authorizing the use of eminent domain to acquire permanent and temporary construction easements for public sidewalks as part of the Hooper City Sidewalk Project. A little about the project. It's considered a streetscape that includes road surfacing, sidewalks, sidewalk ramps, stormwater improvements inside. The objective is to improve street conditions, pedestrian access, drainage, and aesthetics. So in your packet, you have 4 resolutions, track 1, 8, 1, 5, 8, and 22. And we're here today because we have exhausted all efforts of communications and contact for these tracks, and we will be going into condemnation.
So are these individuals that are living that you, or is this just air property or property that you can't find the owners of?
Correct.
Okay,
Some owners are deceased.
got you.
Which we can't find anybody. We've sent out letters, made phone calls, went through every channel possible.
Got you.
All vacant lots.
Turn your mic on.
No structure? These are lots that have no structure on them.
Some of them do.
Have structures?
Yes, ma'am.
But people don't live in the structures?
Correct.
Okay.
It says on here that all of them, the owners are deceased and the whereabouts of the heirs are unknown.
Yeah. On this here,
Yeah.
the title issues are listed.
Got you. And I guess is there an overall diagram of what will be done with the space, or what you all will be doing?
They're attached
Sidewalk.
to each resolution. There's a track sketch.
Ah, got you. I see.
And most of the temporary easements are for the construction of sidewalks or gutters.
May I ask something?
Yeah, go ahead, Councilor Court.
So you mentioned gutters. Are we putting gutters, curb and gutter
Yes,
in as
ma'am.
well? Okay. So it kind of goes with, I mean, it goes along with,
ma'am.
so you're bringing it up to modern subdivision standards.
That's correct.
After all these years.
Miracles happen.
How many linear feet of sidewalk are included in this project, would you say, about? Just the whole plan for this area?
This project includes 1,632 linear feet of new 5-foot wide sidewalk and 12-inch curb ramps.
And the curb ramps are ADA.
Come to the mic.
Microphone.
Oh, it's ADA compliant.
Curb ramps that Ms. Morgan mentioned are for ADA compliance. That's what the curb ramps is for. And to your question, Counselor, we did not bring a huge set of plans, just the descriptives of the 4 tracks in question. But I do have those available if needed.
Got you. So pretty much they're getting some new sidewalks over there, which is a very beautiful thing. So shout out to Hooper City.
And then the street sweeper can come there.
Right, right. Got ramps. You can slide up on the sidewalks. Okay. All right. Well, do we have any more questions?
I move approval.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? The ayes have it. That item passes. Let me see. There are no announcements other than the fact that our next Community Development Committee meeting will be held on a Tuesday. Not a Wednesday, but we will be moving to first and third Tuesdays of the month. And so our next meeting will be on Tuesday, August the 6th, 2024 at 2 p.m. In the council chambers. Any items for the agenda must be submitted to Terry Chapman at terry.chapman@birminghamal.gov by Wednesday, July 31st, 2024 at 4 p.m. So wanted to make sure that, we made the public aware again that meetings will now take place on Tuesdays, first and third Tuesdays at 2 p.m. in the council chambers, because we will be switching spaces with, or changing times with the committee of the whole, which will take place right after this today. So, that is all we have. Any announcements? Seeing none, do we have a motion for adjournment?
I move that we adjourn.
All right, second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed. We are adjourned. Y'all have a good one.